welcome everybody. My name is Paul Taubman II. That's all I have memorized. Right. So, today we're going to talk about making money with your website. So just a couple questions before we start out. I just want to find out some of the demographics. I've talked to a lot of you, and I know some of you have websites. Some of you have companies that you want to redo your website, you're rebranding, you're changing things up. So put some things together. So what about WordPress? What is WordPress? Well, WordPress is simply a platform. It's software that you can load onto your server, onto your computer, that allows you to build a website. How much does WordPress cost? Well, it's free. How awesome is that? Free. Now, free doesn't mean cheap and bad. It just means that there's no cost.
Working as a solutions architect at Fortune 500 companies for the past 25 years, Paul gets systems to talk to each other and share data. While maintaining a successful technical career, Paul is also an expert trainer. Traveling across the country, Paul trained countless folks how to work on intricate computer systems.
And Paul, actually he and I are going to connect. He does something like I do. He believes in gratitude. And so it was just very enjoyable and very, very much a learning experience.
Who has multiple websites? And are you using them to point to each other for SEO and getting traffic and doing those kinds of things? How many people knew that by having multiple websites and linking to them will help you? And some of you just aren't going to raise your hand for anything. That's fine too. How many of you have a site on Blogger or WordPress.com? So your site looks something like yourdomainname.wordpress.com. Okay. If you do, you want to change that. What's the difference between WordPress.com and WordPress.org? WordPress.com is a website where you can go right now and you can create your own website. And that would give you something like yourdomain.wordpress.com. Versus WordPress.org, which gives you the software to run WordPress on your own domain. Now the big difference between these two, and this is important, is WordPress.com is you are acting as a tenant to somebody else. You're renting space there. Even though it's still free, you have to follow their rules. If you're a tenant, you can't just add on an extra bathroom or put another floor on or demolish the garage because you don't have a car. You have to follow the landlord's rules. Well, one of the rules with WordPress.com is you can't really make money using that site. That's usually not good. It's good if you're an author, you can sell your own books, but that's about it. WordPress.org is as if you are the landlord. You have the site, you're in control, and you can do whatever it is that you want.
With all this training experience, Paul has learned how to teach all this technical stuff to non-techies. He is a master instructor at taking the obscure, complex, and explaining it in a simple, fun, and educational way.
Because this actually came up and somebody asked about this. This is actually from this morning. I checked my email this morning. I don't know if you can see this from here. Today I had 4 emails saying that a user was locked out. That means somebody was knocking at my door trying to break into my site. Now that's not too bad. I wasn't upset about that. Because last week on the 21st, all of these were on the 21st. 703, 707, 708, 710. I don't care because my site is secure. Okay? And I just smile and I think love. WordPress is safe. You just have to make sure you take precautions. And if you think about it using that house analogy, does your house have locks on it? Well, so should your website. And how do you do this? Well, there are plugins that do that. So when you hear about, oh, WordPress is not secure, it's not safe, well, it just means that somebody built a house without putting the right locks on it. Okay, so if you take the right precautions, it's definitely easy enough to be safe. So for those of you who have the WordPress sites, make sure you have security built in.
There are two key things that I paid attention to specifically because I'm on WordPress already. I started about 2 weeks ago, and he talked about WordPress.com and WordPress.org. So one of the two things is that WordPress.com, I'm currently on that, and it's sort of like you're a tenant on that site. And so basically you have to follow the rules of the site, sort of like if you're renting a house or something, you have to follow their rules. On WordPress.org, it's another site. It's very similar, except that you're in charge of the site. And so you can sell on that site, and I thought that was a great information because now that I know about that, I can switch all of my information onto the other site.